All right, let's talk now about what I call above the fold essentials. And I mentioned it in the last video. You've got to make sure that what's happening above the fold is some of the most important information that you put on your page. Okay. And we're specifically talking about top of funnel traffic, or if you're running a lead magnet with organic, whatever page you're sending people to, this is an opt-in page, right? We're trying to get people to take an action. Could be a webinar registration as well, but we've got to put information above the fold because people have short attention spans. That's sort of the way that people are now. So we've got to get them the information that they need to make a very quick, I talked about the 5-second decision rule in the previous lesson. And this is where the headline and subheadline comes in and what we're putting above that fold. So headline number one, we're obviously going to call out the audience or at least mention something in the language where the audience could identify it with it. Okay. And then of course, some sort of result. So I use an example here, like helping consultants scale to 50K months without ads. I'll use Laura's example again, the menopause body reset blueprint. They understand I'm calling out the market, essentially the target audience with people who are going through menopause. Very simple. The subheadline though, is this is where the promise happens. So this is where we're going to expand the value in the language. Okay. So here, the menopause body reset blueprint, that's the name of the unique mechanism. It's the name of the audience. So we're kind of identifying that. And then we're going to dive into kind of this subheadline, this promise, and expand on the value. Stuck with weight that won't budge. That's a major pain point for the people who are in this situation. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body is simply changed. Download the free blueprint and learn. And then what the value that they're going to get out of it, right? Here's another one. How to reduce menopause belly fat and get back to feeling like you again. Audience and then pain point, all in one, and what their ultimate goal is. All right. And then the value that they're going to get from it. So I'm accomplishing there, obviously expanding the value proposition, but I'm also reinforcing why it's so important that this market specifically takes a step back and looks at this information. It's getting them to go on to the next section of the page. That ultimately is what good copy does. It keeps them engaged, keeps them moving on. And then obviously the call to action button has to be immediate, visible above that fold. And it's got to be more than just submit or enroll. Like you want to have specific language. So I've got download the free blueprint, right? I've got get free access because that's the point of this one. I've got book your free consultation, right? All of these call to actions need to have a reason, or they need to have specific language that give people a reason to take that next step. Some sort of supporting visual. Don't have to go too crazy with this. This obviously the supporting visual would be like the unique mechanism. It's the mock-up image here of the asset. Here is a kind of a mock-up image of the lab. Always try to tie in the messaging and the whole purpose of that lead magnet with that image. Okay, so some supporting visual, but then ultimately no distractions. Keep menus and external links. Just don't even put them on the page. You don't want to be linking people to places that is going to take them outside of your funnel. And I'm going to take a moment to talk a little bit about this when it comes to link trees and social media too. I'm not a fan of link trees because you give people too many options and they won't take any, right? They'll get lost in the information. I see so many people who run ads straight to a website that has their full menu on it. And they might think, well, that gives them an opportunity to learn more about us. The problem is it gives them an opportunity to learn more about you rather than learning about a specific thing that funnels people through the information in a strategic way. That's what funnels are all about, okay? It's giving people the information that you want to give them in an organized, structured way so that they can make an educated decision. If you're sending people straight to a website that has a bunch of funnel or a bunch of links and menus, what's going to end up happening is they're going to start piecemealing it together. They're going to go down these rabbit holes. And yes, there might be testimonials and there might be free resources and you've got your wonderful blog that you spend all this time writing. And there's good information there. The problem is they start consuming some of that. And yes, they might build a little bit of trust, but unfortunately, they're not taking an action. You're putting way too much hopes in that they're going to read all this stuff. They're going to go through all this stuff and eventually they're going to book a call with you. Very rarely does that happen. I would not be sending people directly to a page like that. Notice how there's no funnel links on this page. There's one thing they can click on, and that's the button to opt in. There's one thing they can click on, and that's the form to fill out. Okay. And that is it. So keep your assets above the fold. All of this happens. Do I have some other things down below here? Yes, I do. I've tested though pages that are very similar to this with just what you see above the fold here without the lower section, and they convert just as well. This funnel just so happens it has, a little bit more. This one just has a little bit of credibility testimonials on it. So you don't need too much. And we'll talk about that in a future lesson. But that's the above the fold essentials. See you in the next lesson.